Hello, this is Alan Garrett of AFTA Comics trying something a little different. And I have a story to tell as well, but I thought I'd show a partial set of Iron Man 1 through 100. We won't make it all the way through there. But this story has to deal with when I was 10 years old on Halloween of 1971. I had been collecting comics for nearly a year and reading them for about 3 years at that point. I decided that I wanted to make my own Iron Man costume. And this is how I did it. I had a Green Bay Packers shirt, a sweatshirt. Over that, I put a red short sleeve V-neck vest. Don't ask me, it was the 1970s. I put a yellow plate for a chest plate. Then I had red gloves. I painted my boots red, and I had a pair of yellow pants and a bathing suit, which was red, I put over the yellow pants. So there you go. For the helmet now, I had to get more creative, and I went out and bought a standard Halloween mask, did the slits in it for Iron Man's mouth and his eyes, and there you go. I'm Iron Man. I painted that yellow and red. I thought I looked pretty good. Well, I went out and hit the first few houses. Nobody said anything. Nobody asked. Met up with a group of my friends who also collected comics, and they knew exactly who I was right away. And then the trouble started. Next house I go to. Who are you supposed to be? I'm Iron Man. Iron what? Iron Man. Never heard of him. Next house. What are you supposed to be? I'm Iron Man. Metal Man? No. Iron Man. Okay. So on and so forth. Nobody guessed that I was Tony Stark, Iron Man. And it was frustrating. Now, I have to say, back in the day, Iron Man really wasn't that well known. I mean, think about it. In the last 13 or 14 years, the world has learned because of the Marvel verse with the movies and everything else, but certainly 50 years ago, he wasn't anywhere near as popular as he is today. So that's the story of me being Iron Man. You know, I was looking through some photos, and I was trying to see if there were any photos of me as Iron Man, but there were not. And although my family took a lot of films and pictures when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, nobody took photos of that. So you just got to take my word for it. But I think it looked pretty decent considering I was 10 years old and I created it myself. But Iron Man has always been one of my all-time favorite Marvel comics. His series started in 1968, and of course, he was created by Stan Lee back in 1963 with Tales of Suspense, number 39. So anyway, I just always loved Iron Man. I thought it was great. My first issue of Iron Man that I bought off the stands or off the rack at the Wharton Paper Store was this one right here. And the bonus for me was I was familiar with Daredevil already. Nick Fury a little bit, but I had just been reading comics for a few months at that point when that hit the stands in December of 1970, and with a cover date of March of 1971. So from that point on, these are all mine off the rack, so to speak. And again, I appreciate you watching this episode of After Comics. Yeah, I probably did trick-or-treating till I was about 12, and I've probably have mentioned this story before, but when I was 12, I dressed up as Frankenstein, had a very good-looking Frankenstein mask, and I was already about 6'3" at that point, and so I went up to a person's door, and they said, "Shame on you. you are way too old to be trick-or-treating, and slammed the door in my face. And that was the last house that I ever went to. It's kind of a sad way to end your trick-or-treating career. Oh man, I love some of these issues. The box art, we older collectors call it, from November of 1971 all the way through December of 1972. Now, there are some exceptions to that. The Incredible Hulk, actually, his January 1973 issue had the box art. Some of the, and I've shown this in some of the videos, some of the My Love and Our Love stories that reprinted some of the 72 covers, reprinted it exactly. I don't think they did it on purpose or anything. That was a nice copy. That's an off the rack. Just a few more. We're not going to go much further. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot you. Right there. There we go. Hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to produce a video in the comic book community of this very tiny channel. And I really do. I am a tiny channel compared to most everybody else. And I like it like that. I'd rather be just a channel for people that are interested in the few things that I'm interested in. And we'll stop right there with Iron Man's nose mask. That's it. That's this episode of After Comics. Thanks for watching.